The incoming Trump administration has some specific plans to reshape the federal workforce, and the changes could have some implications for the region and for the nation.
Yeah, our Larry Miller is here now to break it down.
The incoming Trump administration wants a leaner, less costly federal workforce. Leading the effort to deliver on the president's plans are Tesla CEO Elon Musk and entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy. The two head the Department of Government Efficiency, a proposed presidential advisory commission. Among the things they want to do, cut federal spending by $2 trillion, which Musk said recently will be a missed target. Additionally, they want to shrink the size of the federal workforce and have federal workers return to the office. Data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows there are approximately 3 million federal workers nationwide. Of that, more than 300,000 federal workers reside in the Washington, D.C. metro area, which accounts for just 15% of the total federal workforce. The remaining 85% is spread out throughout the country. The incoming administration wants to move 100,000 federal jobs outside of Washington, which could have a substantial impact on the local economy. Jackie Simon is the Director of Politics and Public Policy for the American Federation of Government Employees.
I want to get your thoughts collectively about what you've heard. Does it make sense, and what impact will that have on the federal workforce?
Well, I'll go through those backwards. As far as relocating agency headquarters out of the Washington, D.C. area, I don't think that they'll really end up doing that. I think that the top political appointees in these agencies need a little bit of some staff in Washington so that they can basically answer the questions that the White House has, questions that Congress has. I don't see that really happening. They tried it in Trump's first term with a few different offices out of the Department of Agriculture, and it was a true disaster. Basically, nobody, almost no one, I think less than 5% of the workforce took the opportunity to move to a new location. So they had a tremendous brain drain, loss of institutional knowledge. It ended up costing a lot of money, not saving money, is really based on a false assumption that the majority of federal employees work in the Washington, D.C. area. Only about 15% of the total federal workforce works in the Washington metropolitan area. The rest are spread all across the country at military bases and depots, veterans hospitals and clinics, Social Security offices, federal prisons. We represent the correctional offices in federal prisons, TSA officers at airports. I mean, federal employees are all across the country doing all kinds of jobs.
The incoming administration has said that there needs to be greater efficiency in the federal government workforce. Is that fair?
Oh, of course, there's always room for improvement in the operation of any organization. It'd be ridiculous to deny that. I just think that the Trump-Ramaswamy approach, which is based, again, on a lot of false ideas about what the federal workforce does, where it is, and how it could be reduced, are ridiculous. And so it's hard to take what they've said so far very seriously. I don't really think that commission and all that rhetoric has anything to do with efficiency. I think it's really sort of a Trojan horse for mass outsourcing and privatization.
One of the other things that were mentioned is the return to office. Some have said that sort of policy change would be problematic because of spacing issues, availability of building space. Could you speak to that for us?
Well, I think that a lot of agencies learned during the pandemic that telework was a tremendous efficiency booster and productivity booster, and it worked well for the employees and it worked well for the agencies. And as a result, they continued telework policies, not as extreme as during the height of the pandemic, but there was a hybrid arrangement in many agencies. Now, remember, of course, that less than half of the federal workforce has jobs that are even appropriate for telework at all. And that is another misconception. I mean, for example, the people I talked about before, the corrections officers in the prisons, the TSA officers, the nurses and doctors in VA hospitals, they don't telework.
How's the morale amongst the federal workforce? Is it low considering the proposed changes that are on the table?
I think federal employees have had a little bit of a breather from being demonized. You know, it kind of comes in waves. Uh, and so I think that there has been just this respite, having a president who appreciated the federal workforce and the work that federal employees perform on behalf of the American people. And to suddenly go from being appreciated to being scorned and demonized is not a good feeling.
What's your message to the incoming Trump administration?
Federal employees are not demons, and federal employees contribute virtually nothing to the deficit. Uh, Take a look at the numbers, step aside from the rhetoric, and try to get to know what the federal workforce actually does, and maybe you'll start to appreciate us.
Larry Miller, WUSA 9.